Good morning guys, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you all had a great week so far. I wanted to bring you all along through an entire week of training with me. I realized I never really shared my entire schedule, so I thought it would be a fun video idea for my YouTube channel. Because I'm starting halfway through the week, it's going to be a mixture of week 1 and week 2 of my prep block. As some of you may know, I'm currently in prep for nationals and I'm only 3 weeks out, so it's getting really close. Very exciting, very scary at the same time. I'm not really sure how it's going to go. The training sessions so far have been pretty good. As I mentioned in my previous video, I'm suffering from an injury in my lats, and while it's gotten better right now, it's still not 100% gone, and I'm also really afraid that it may come back even worse. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Today I have a pretty long gym session. I have an SBD day. Not really heavy squats, not very heavy bench, but a semi-heavy single with deadlifts. So I already have a weight in mind, but we'll see how the warm-up goes and whether I'll do more or less. The rest of the week consists of 4 other days, so I train 5 days in total. I have one session which is a bench and leg accessory session, another session which is a heavy squat, 2 bench sessions, and 1 SBD session. We're starting off with the SBD. I'll do it in the right order as how I do it throughout the week. So right now it's Tuesday, and my next training session will be on Thursday, and then Friday and Saturday and Sunday. So yeah, I do suggest you grab something to eat or something to drink because it will probably be a longer video than usual. I hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. I started my session with secondary squats. The weight was 135 kilograms. I attempted to pause it. However, I feel like the first rep wouldn't really count as a pause, but it's fine. For the second set, I did some volume work. I was supposed to do 6 reps, but I did 5 instead because I lost count. For my primary session, I do my squats in stiff sleeves. I find that they really help with my technique, and it just adds a little bit of extra strength. But because I still want to stay used to wearing in soft sleeves, because when I compete internationally, I am obligated to wear soft sleeves, I do my secondaries in them after nationals. If I get invited to either Euros or Worlds or both, and then I will switch to doing all my training sessions in soft sleeves just to stay used to them and to build strength in them. Moving on to bench, I did a total of 6 top sets. They were between the range of 75 kilograms and 80 kilograms. Then I did my deadlifts, which was the highlight of the training session. I started off with a very strong last warm-up with 165 kilograms, but when I moved on to my top set, I don't know what happened here. There was a small part below my knees where I had a slight sticking point. I don't know if this will be a problem at nationals. I still have 1 more session to go, so hopefully that one will go better. So yeah, that was Tuesday's training. Here we have day 2 of the week, which is a bench session and a full leg day. This is my favorite session of the week, and before I started competing, I always had a upper and lower split because I just preferred to target specific muscle groups at the same time instead of doing a full body session or doing multiple different body parts in one session. During this session, I also do not focus on doing the heaviest weight possible. I do everything at a higher rep range and focus on feeling the muscles and contracting them instead of just fixating on the weights like I usually have to do with my compound exercises. This session is modified due to my injury. I cannot do regular hip thrusts right now because I just feel them way too much in my lat. But if I was 100% healthy and in an off season, then I would add regular hip thrusts instead of the standing hip thrust machine, and I would probably do a single leg exercise like a Bulgarian split squat or a step up. I'm also practicing my posing skills and looking at myself posing. I'm considering doing a fun and short challenge after nationals and my vacation, but more on that in another video. This day is an upper body day and the 3rd bench session of the week. I'm doing tempo bench press. These slower reps are honestly super humbling, but they build so much control and stability. So I definitely recommend adding them to a plan to increase your bench. My leverages are so disadvantageous for bench that I have to bench 4 times per week the entire year just to increase my bench with 2.5 kilograms. Crazy, right? After bench, I moved on to an upper accessory exercise, which is called prone rows. My sports doctor actually recommended I keep training my injured area instead of resting it completely, as long as I do it smart. So I've been adding prone rows to strengthen the muscles around the injury and keep everything balanced. After the prone rows, I did pull-ups. I go through phases with these. Sometimes I don't do them for months, but somehow I can still hit 8 reps, which is kind of wild considering when I first started training, I couldn't even do 1. So let this be your reminder that consistency adds up even when you don't realize it. This session is also my primary squat session, and I like to wear stiff sleeves for these. I started off with a strong and quick 160 kilogram squat. Super happy with how that one moves. Then we move on to 140 kilograms for back downs. I did 3 sets of 3 reps with this weight. The focus with this one is to just sink into the squat in order to hit depth, because I still have trouble hitting depth with heavier weights. And that's just a disadvantage of having long femurs and shorter shins and a shorter torso. After squats, I have some pause deadlifts. I started this session with a top set of 165 kilograms for 2 reps. It was really easy, but this was week 1. The RPE was lower, so everything was just moving very smoothly, very quickly, exactly as how it should have gone. For back downs, I did 160 kilograms for 5 reps, and then I did another set with 155 kilograms for another 5 reps. For the last exercise, I did single leg press. It's just an accessory used to strengthen a certain position that will help me with my squats. That was it for this session. We've arrived at the final session of the week. If it's not obvious already, taking a pre-workout shot is definitely part of the training ritual. This session was my primary bench session of the week. I warmed up to 82 kilograms and a half, which is a really good weight for me to do in week 1. Bench has been the exercise that has been most consistent this block and the one where I've progressed the most in. I then proceeded to do 75 kilograms for 5 reps and 5 sets total, so a pretty high volume bench session. My leverages also make it a bit harder for me to do them because it takes such a long time to reach my chest, but I do know that this is the way that I make most progress with it, so it's something that I just accept. I then proceeded to do some leg pull downs, and I finished off the session with cardio. I do cardio on most days, and it usually is just a 30 minutes to 40 minutes walk, sometimes on incline and sometimes just flat. So this is my split being 3 weeks out from a powerlifting competition. It does change per competition, and the circumstances also influence my split. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and I hope to see you next time.